Good afternoon, Internet. It is Friday evening. I am off work for the week. Oh yeah, it was a good week at my Vegas, guys. I gotta say, you know, I've had some ups and downs emotionally this week, but I have had way more ups than I have had downs. I'll tell you that much. Man, the hits might keep on coming, but life is good over at my Vegas, and as a result, my life just keeps getting better and better, and I'm remaining grateful and happy about the whole thing. I'm just having so much fun. Oh man. And then after work today, I had the treat and the pleasure of having dinner with my husband Rob and his daughter Alyssa. And I don't get to see Buggy as often as I would like to, so we all just had dinner at my favorite Mexican restaurant, Chapalas, over here on the east side in Vegas. And they had the cheese enchiladas, and I had the burrito ranchero with abondigas, and it was just good. Hit the spot. It's good stuff. Yes. Alrighty. So, couple of new notes here, guys. In EV news, Alessandro still in the shop. It's gonna be a minute. The shop has ordered the parts and is now fighting with my insurance company for you know, supplemental payments, because naturally the insurance company's initial estimate was far too low. So, you know, dealing with that. This is my last day in Molly the Mazda. Her owner gets back into town tonight, so I'll pick him up from the airport and give back to him Molly the Mazda. Batman's staying with me, though. Right, Batman? Yeah, that's what I thought. I have no idea what I am going to do about a car. Excuse me, the hiccups, about a car next week. I really don't want to use a rental if I don't have to, because they are expensive, and my insurance company just does not really reimburse, I think, at all, and if they do, it's not very much, and I just don't want to. I have access to the Hyundai Accent, because Rob can take the motorcycle for the next week or so, and he can use that to get around, and I will have, you know, the Hyundai Accent, which is awesome, except it's a manual, and my understanding of the operation of a manual transmission is it's I have a working knowledge. I have a working knowledge of how the manual transmission works. I could explain it to you. I could draw a diagram of it if I were to see, you know, an animation of one working without a label. I would be able to tell you what it was and what was happening. My actual amount of time in practice out in the world with a manual transmission is very, very small. I don't think I've been past third gear, and I know, for a car guy, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, for not already knowing how to operate a manual transmission. But hey guys, I have like more than 30% of my left knee just isn't there. It's not in there. I have, my meniscus is missing. Most of the cartilage has been scraped out. The bones have been ground down to fit together again, sort of. And it's just shitty now. Like, I don't normally curse, but there's not really another word for the whole left knee thing. So I haven't been super motivated to put a lot of work into learning a manual transmission, because I was never planning on buying a car ever that had one, ever, because I know that it, like, by the time I get wherever I'm going, I'm going to be in pain. But all the same, I think that it would be good for me to learn, and Rob's been trying to teach me for months and months, and every time I'm just like, I'll find 50 other things to do that are more fun than learning a manual, and I'm regretting that right now. So I'm gonna have to learn how to operate the Hyundai. That's one option. The other option is a rental. Hey guys, let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Please don't be too mean, because, like, I'm 30, so that's comparatively young when compared to, you know, cars and stuff, and every car I've ever had access to had an automatic transmission. Even the old pickup truck I was taught to drive in had an automatic transmission. So, you know, this is the first occasion I've had to really need that skill. But now what's important, and that's just going to have to be what happens there. So, like I said, be nice in the comments, please. Oh, a couple other things with EV news. Harley Davidson is moving well, not moving, but has announced its new plant. It is not going to be in America due to the ridiculous tariffs that manufacturers are dealing with right now. They have announced that their new plant is going to be in Japan. That is very exciting. They are going to make a couple of new things there. One of them is a sport bike. I think it's over 1,000cc V-twin sport bike. I was going to say Buell on the valve cover, so that's exciting. That's pretty neat. But in EV news, they're also announcing an e-bike. So they're going to have electric motorcycles manufactured there in Japan. Now, of all the places that a motorcycle manufacturer could open a new plant, well, we know the Japanese can make some really sick-ass bikes, don't we? Yeah, Yamaha and Suzuki are doing just fine indeed. And apparently Harley-Davidson is going to be in the same neighborhood as Yamaha, so that's pretty cool. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And, you know, as time goes on, I have an ambition of learning to operate a motorcycle. And I've been concerned about how difficult that might be with my left knee. But Rob rides a motorcycle, a big one. And whenever he goes out on the bike and we're together, well, I'm naturally on the back of the bike, which I have enjoyed. I've really enjoyed riding on the back of the motorcycle, and I have all my gear. I have my helmet. I have, you know, I'm safe when I do that, as safe as you can be on a motorcycle. And, you know, I have a really good time with that. I don't really have any complaints, apart from the fact that it's not properly aligned with my spirit. For those of you that have been watching the channel regularly and who have gotten to know me a little bit and chatted with me in the comments and stuff, you know, Ari, David, Bruce, looking at you. Do I seem like a back of the bike kind of girl? Do I seem like a wait in a truck kind of broad? Like, that's not me. And I've been on the back of the bike for a really long time. So I've been talking to Rob about, you know, wanting to maybe get a motorcycle at some point and learn how to ride a motorcycle and not like make it my regular transportation or anything, but like on the weekends and maybe, you know, in the winter when the weather here is a lot nicer for it, take it to and from work just for funsies. And I don't know, I've been really interested in getting the motorcycle endorsement on my license at the very least, just so I can learn to operate it. There's no way I could ever operate the bike that Rob rides, because it is the first generation of the Honda Valkyrie, and it has a flat 6 in it. It's got a bigger motor than this car, for sure, but it's got a bigger motor than most sedans on the road, and the thing is just massive. It weighs half a ton. I have no idea what the dry weight of the thing is, but it's a beast. It's an absolute beast, and I'm not big enough to hold the thing up, so I can't learn on that bike at all. And I was thinking about going down to the college and taking, they have a motorcycle class for everybody from beginners to the very experienced. They say learn everything in it. Rob's been riding motorcycles since he was 5 years old, and he went and took the class and got something out of it. Like, he just learned even more about how to be a safer rider. It recommends that everybody goes and does it, no matter whether you've never been on a bike before or you have been on a bike your whole life. You can go learn something from this class. And I'm like, well, that's a great idea. I should definitely go do that, at least learn it. And they have bikes there that you can learn on. And then, you know, like a motorcycle on Craigslist is comparatively cheap, but then I'm thinking more and more, I'm like, frick, these e-bikes are a thing. They're more and more popular, and they're coming out more and more often. And I do have reservations about a bike that's silent, because part of the danger of motorcycles is that when motorists in cars don't know that the cyclist is there, cyclists get bumped off the road. And when you make contact and trade a little paint with say a Toyota, you're all inside, and whatever damage there is to the vehicles, you know, for the most part, you're going to be pretty safe. But a slight impact against a motorcycle and a car, you have pretty serious injuries. You can, you know, throw a biker all the way off the road. There's a lot of bad things that can happen. So I have reservations about a bike that is silent, like it doesn't make any noise. But I don't know, like maybe if Rob is riding the Valkyrie and I'm riding an e-bike, the Valkyrie makes enough noise for both of us, and if we're together, I'm not really sure, but I don't know. I like the idea of Harley-Davidson making e-bikes. I think that, you know, that's what we're all about here, is electric cars, and I think that any advancement in the field of, you know, EVs in general, whether those vehicles, the VE being vehicle, are, you know, cars with 4 wheels and doors, or electric bikes, or electric roller skates, or whatever it is that's emission free, that helps people get around from point A to point B, that helps solve that transportation problem, I'm in favor of it, and I think it's very, very exciting. What do you guys think? Have you ever, by the way, Is there anybody out there with a bad left knee that rides a motorcycle? Let me know what that's all about, because I would like to know about your experience. If so, what kind of motorcycle do you ride? Have you ridden? What's your favorite bike that you ever had? Guys, I'm trying to learn more about motorcycles. Eventually, this is a thing that's going to happen because it's on my bucket list, and I'm just going to do it. So I want to start that conversation now, start talking to you guys about that now. And what do you guys think about the e-bikes? I know I made a video before specifically about electric motorcycles, but now life is changing, things are moving on. I'm starting to have a couple more options available to me. I don't know that an electric motorcycle is one of those things, and I don't know that it would necessarily be a Harley. It probably wouldn't. But I don't know, I'm really interested. I want to know what you guys think about all that. Are these things that you find exciting? Are they things that you find silly? For those of you who are motorcycle riders, what do you think is the best beginner bike? What's your favorite bike? What's the motorcycle guys, and I mean this in a really, really good way, tend to be sentimental people. And I think that's because when you ride a machine, instead of just driving it from the inside, like this is a room that I'm pushing around, but when you ride a machine, you're like more a part of the machine. And that relationship with the vehicle that you're on becomes a lot more intimate. So and they get more emotionally attached to the bikes, and I just love that. I love how fired up people get about their cars and their motorcycles, and motorcycle people have a very unique speed of being fired up. They have a unique vibe where that is concerned. So I'm very interested to hear your guys' perspective on that. I like hearing about like what's your first bike, and what's the bike that just like did it the most for you? Are you still riding it? If you're not anymore, tell me why. I just really want to know. And I think I'm just gonna leave it there today, guys. It was a good week. Next week I'm definitely gonna be vlogging more. I had a lot going on this week that took my attention away from vlogging, and that's okay. You know, life happens. But next week I want to get back at it a lot more. I hope everybody's having a really great Friday. And, you know, things are still freaking awesome at My Vegas, and I am doing all the work I can to get the My Vegas automotive section, you know, up and moving, and started doing some interviews and some writing this week, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it when the time comes. So thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing right over here. Here's some other things I think you'll enjoy right down here. My name is Catherine. This is EVs of Nevada. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile. It's Friday.